Hello everybody and welcome back to Sosnovka. We're going to be doing something slightly different today, and that is forestry. Now I know a few of you might now be thinking, oh, not forestry, I'm not watching you do forestry. Because I know that a lot of people have said that to me before, but before you click off the video, we're going to be using a forestry mod, which I've never used before. So it might be amazing, it might be bad, but I want to give it a go. It was actually in the mod contest. It's that really small Alstor 8x8 forestry machine. Now the issue is, and the reason why we're here, is it is £31,000 and we only have 27,832. So we're going to have to borrow 5,000. We also need to buy a chainsaw, so yeah, that should be enough. 5,000, not too bad really. But yeah, let's go to the shop and we'll buy it. We're going to put it on the trailer here. Now this is bad driving, but I need to get back to where I was coming from. We're going to put it on the trailer. We'll take it to the forest, which actually is not far from the shop anyway, but we will have to take it back to the yard afterwards. And then, yeah, we're just going to see how much money we can make from the trees, really. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is cutting the trees down with a chainsaw and then loading it up with this small Alstor forestry machine. And actually, I have been doing other things in the background between this episode and the previous episode. I did actually mention I'd be doing some off screen because I know it's been very slow, but the things which I've been doing have been quite tedious to watch. Basically, that is why I've done them. I have actually replanted every field which we own, and I have bought another field from the profits we've made from the wool and also from the cows, the milk overnight. Obviously it was only a small field because we really can't afford much, but I have bought one. It was actually right next to the other two fields which I was doing. Field 16, we own 12 and 26, but I bought 16. So fields 19, 12, 16, 26 and 14 have all got something in them. I actually planted maize in half of them so that we could do some silage harvesting, because I know that a lot of people want me to do that. And then I put canola in the other fields because it's worth a lot. Anyway, this is it. This is the Alstor 8x8. Looking forward to using this. We also need to buy a chainsaw, and I think we're probably going to go for the Husqvarna. I think that is probably my favourite one there. Right, so here it is. It's quite an interesting looking thing. Really looking forward to using this. Now, although I've never used it, I have actually done a bit of research on it because I did notice that there were no controls visible, so you don't actually know how to use it. Now, I'm using the Satec joystick, and the crane is just the same as any other forestry machine, so that is nice and simple. I've got no problem with that at all. However, when you first purchase this mod, you will actually have the legs, the support legs, down, and it will look like this. You can see it like that, and then you don't actually know how to put them up, so you go driving around thinking it is probably supposed to be like that when it's actually wrong. You can't actually move at all with it like that. What you actually have to do, and this is quite a good little how-to for people who have just downloaded this mod, what you have to do is you need to press Control, and then K and M will higher and lower those hydraulic stands. So it's K for up, Control K for up, and Control M for down. So that is a good little tip there. And also there is another function as well. You can do this with the left mouse click, or you can do Control J and Control N, and that will actually extend and retract the back of this, so it'll actually adjust the size of the logs you can carry. So looking forward to using it. If you're going to use it, that's just a quick little how-to for the controls. I did watch a few other people's videos, but mainly they weren't actually speaking English. They were mainly in German, so I didn't really understand them. So yes, if you're an English player and you're having a bit of trouble, that is the controls. One thing I've actually really noticed about this is it stops like immediately. As soon as you take your foot off the pedal, it will stop. So it's like automatic braking. I think that's okay there. We'll turn the engine off and we'll get it loaded up. Well, we'll get the back ramp up and we'll take it over to our forest. Now, it's a small thing, so the size of the logs we're going to be able to carry on this and the amount of logs are going to be very minimal. It's going to be quite uneconomical when I'm going to do this, but it's just to give the mod a go. It's actually just slid. Gotta be careful. Luckily we're not going far, we're just going over here. I could have even driven it, but we're going to have to take it back to the yard afterwards. So this is a bit more of an opening. We'll probably just park up here and we'll begin to cut some trees down. But with that out of the way, let's get the chainsaw out and we'll start to fell some of these trees. This is quite a good sized one here, not too big. See if we can do it in one. It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, yeah, I think I have. It's just I need to push it. Go on, kick the tree. We'll do it again. See if I can get a bit closer. That should go through. There it goes. Right, with that on the floor, we can now strip the foliage off. And we'll begin to cut it into decent chunks. Now, what size will this take? Let's just have a look. We can, of course, extend the back. Right, so I've extended the back, and you can see that we've managed to get this much more out of it, which means we're actually going to be able to take a fairly decent sized log, but just not many of them. So I think probably if we cut this in two, in half, about here probably. Obviously one end's going to be heavier than the other. There we go, that's it in two. Now if we just go alongside, we should be able to pick these up. So I think what I'll do is I'll try the smaller one first. Looks like the bigger one's rolled away anyway, but this should give us a good idea of how much weight this thing can pick up. Now I must remember to put the stabilisers down, otherwise it will be hard. That should stop it from moving about when we're doing this. Right, I think we're low enough on there. So yes, it is possible to pick up these bigger ones. However, it's making it move about. I'm not sure why. So we'll just do it in two smaller ones just to make it easier. And that's actually slowed the movement of this vehicle. I think it was just a bit too heavy for it. That was the problem. But now we should be able to. Well, a skilled operator would be able to put this into our little trailer here. Right, so hopefully, when I now let go of this, it should just fall straight in. Brilliant! So that is one in. We now have the bit which we cut off, and then a few other bits as well, and then of course the really big one, which would just be stupidly big for this thing. So what I'm going to have to do is cut that right down in size, and then hopefully we'll be able to take this entire tree in one go to the sell point. Right, let's try this little log here. It looks very small. It's like a twig in Farming Smokes, but I bet in real life that'll actually be quite heavy. So yes, let me just adjust my controls. Extend this out, and of course we will rotate that so we can actually grab it. That should be on it. There we go. Probably spin this round just so we've got the heavier end at the front. Spin it round the other way. And you've just got to be a little bit steady, I've noticed, when turning around with this thing, because it stops so quickly, the logs can fly out the back, so just go steady with it. Right, if we retract that in, and then hopefully, if we let go of it, it will stay within here. They can fall out. So you do have, you've got to be careful, but yeah, common sense, and you should be okay. Yeah, that log there is a little big for it, I think. I don't think I'll manage it, so what I'll do is put the grab over these two so that they don't fall out. Slightly grab them, and we will then put the stabilizers up. We need to find our log point. The sawmill. That's very close. I'm guessing that is where you take your logs to, because there's also the lumberyard, but that's right at the other side of the map. I'm hoping we can take these to the sawmill, but as I've never done any forestry on this map before, it might be a little difficult the first time around, but yeah, let's go for it. I'm not going to put it on the lorry just because it doesn't stay on there too well. But I bet if you're driving it just like this, it'll actually work a lot better. Those logs are now staying in place. So yeah, you've just got to be, you know, realistic, steady with this mod, and it's actually really good. It can take a bit of getting used to, but now I've set all the controls, well, all the controls I know anyway, it should make it easier. Obviously, if you're playing with a mouse and keyboard, the left click and right click and then double left and right should control the arm, boom and everything. Right, so I think we're going down here. It's past the grain elevator, the village grain elevator, and then it is beyond there to the sawmill. I think it's close to where the mural is for the bakery. Quite a recognisable place, that. I don't know how much money we're going to get for these. Obviously it's just a few logs, but logs are expensive on this game, so we should be able to get a fairly decent amount of money for them. We want to be heading down here. Yes, it's not an impressive haul by any means, but just sort of doing a bit of a mod review as well at the same time. Let's go back onto first person view. We've got a few decals on there, a few controls. Actually, the back here is very realistic. Yeah, that looks like the place. I don't know if we just drop them in water or if we do something else, but let's have a look. Oh, as soon as you take your foot off the pedal, it just stops. Oh, there is another job I'm meaning to do as well today, which someone reminded me about. When we took that grain to the station, or they call it the mill, I think, we didn't send the train off. So we're actually missing out on money there. We can do that. Anyway, yeah, I think we just drop it into here and we should get enough money. If you want to sell wood, you can simply drop it in the mill pond. Straight and long pieces will get you more money than short and bent ones. So yes, it should be nice and easy, this. Just reposition to get a bit closer. But yes, with these logs as well, we should get a lot more money. Here we go. $1,400 for the first one, and looks like almost 200 for the second one. So actually, if that had been a full load, or in fact a lorry load, we would have got heaps of money then. Forestry is a very good way of getting money fast, but it can be a bit slow sometimes, and also a bit tedious to watch. That is why I don't do much of it, because I got a message saying, why don't you do more forestry? It's just because not everyone likes watching it, so I think once in a while it's good. Anyway, let's head back. I'm definitely going to be using this again at some point. Maybe not necessarily on this map, but we'll be using it next time we do forestry. Also looking to try some other forestry mods as well, because there aren't many about. That is why I went for this, because it's obviously a mod which has been the mod contest, so a respectable mod. And yeah, there just aren't many to choose from. So this was an obvious choice. I'm just trying to think of other things that it might have. I don't think it's got IC. But you can see in the engine there, you can see the fan running. I don't know what engine it has, it must be quite a neat little compact thing. It would be good if we had some smaller trees. Now what you can do is when you plant them, the saplings, you could cut them down prematurely, so not when they're fully grown, and then they would be the right size for this machine. I think the biggest problem actually is these trees are all mature, so they're huge, they're heavy, and just beyond the capabilities of such a small machine. So yeah, that actually might be quite a good idea for the future. If I put some saplings in and then we cut them down probably on the second growth stage, that should be a lot better. Now, is it me or have I lost my lorry? I've lost my lorry. That's weird. I left it here. There's no tyre tracks. Great, someone's gone and thieved my lorry. Where's it gone? This is genuine. I have no idea where it's gone. Oh, there it is. Yes, that actually didn't look great. I immediately go to the place where it's gone to. Now, I had no idea that had gone there. I don't. Why has it gone there? How has it rolled down here? I can't even get it back. What? That is so weird. Well, this mod review is turning into a treasure hunt, really. I have no idea how that happened. Anyway, let's get it on the back and try and get it a bit more secure this time. It just has, I don't know, it's just this creeping thing which makes it move. So, I expect it to move. Maybe if I leave the engine on, it won't do it. That is staying in place. Yeah, that is staying in place a lot better. So there's a tip. If you're going to put it on a trailer, keep the engine on and it should stay in place a lot better. It is shifting slightly, but not half as bad as it was doing. We should actually be able to get back to the yard with it like this. There we go. So one more job left to do, and that is to go to the mill and send the train off. Also notice that has a 17 litre fuel tank, so actually a very realistic amount. You know, sometimes these mods can have 300 litre fuel tank for the smallest machine. So yeah, that is good to see. Right, so I'm in the Kamaz and we're going to go down to the mill. I'm probably going to take a load of grain as well, because obviously if we're going to go all the way down there, we want to maximise the money we're going to get. So we'll put wheat in the first trailer, or in the back of the lorry, and then in a trailer we'll probably put some barley in. Because the mill accepts all these crops. And yes, let's have a look at our map. If we look at our crop map, we can see that over here, these two fields are corn. This one down here is wheat, and then these two here are canola. So lots of money in these two, heaps of money in these two, and then this is just like an extra field for straw. So we're getting our bales from there. So let's go. This lorry was quite loud the last time I used it, so hopefully it sounds okay. I really am missing out when I don't send the train off, because you do. I don't know what percentage it is, but you do get a much larger percentage of profits. So it's definitely worth doing it. Some people even say it's an Easter egg in Farming Simulator, like a hidden bonus. At least this time I know exactly where to go to. Before I was going all the way around the back just to get to the front. So it's this way and straight down. So when you send the train off, I think you have to wait a couple of minutes for it to actually work. Because the train, I guess, has to get to the edge of the map or something before it hits the trigger. But it does work, so I did it on the other map. I did it on Bjornholm. In fact, I did a video on it. I made a video on it. So yes, it definitely works. There's our wheat and our barley. All extra money. Let's send it away. Just keep watching the money and then we'll know exactly when we get the payment. Don't know how far it has to go. Still going. I'm chasing after it. I think eventually it'll probably just disappear. When it disappears, we'll get our payment. It looks to be getting to the edge of the map. It can't be far. Yep, I've hit a barrier. Go on, train. Give us the money. There it goes. £7,771. And then another payment came after that. So we've now got 22,358. Wow, it's definitely worth doing that. So that must be from all of the grain which I've sold over time at that place. That is really impressive. So now I just need to get back to my lorry. But yeah, I think we'll probably leave it there for today. Thank you for watching. Please do download the mod and give it a go. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode. So hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.